File upload control. So the input file upload object represents an HTML input element with the type equal to file. File upload control. The input file upload control represent an HTML input element with type equal to file. Okay, with type equal to file. This control allows users to upload and send any files. This control allows users to send and upload any files. Okay, any file. Okay, so for example, read an example. Gmail attachment. Okay, in Compose. Okay, so attach files. So when you click on this link, so it will open dialog box, and you can select any file. Okay, any file. Okay, so like this you can send files to server or to anyone. Okay, so this is the Gmail using latest to jQuery control. So, but in HTML we have input type equal to file and close tag. Okay, so this is the file upload control in HTML. Okay, but in jQuery latest upload controls is there. At a time you can upload multiple files. Okay, so in HTML, so we can select only one file at a time. So this is the HTML file upload control. So one example on file upload control. Copy this and open Notepad. Okay, input type equal to file. Okay, type equal to file. So save this example. 10 p.m. HTML file upload control. File upload dot HTML. Okay, so this file is saved here. So run this example. So this file upload control should be like this. Okay, choose file and no chosen file. So when you click on this button, choose file. Okay, so it will open dialog box, and you can select only one file at a time in HTML file upload control. But in jQuery file upload controls, we can select multiple files. Okay, select file and open. Okay, so it will show the selected file name, and we can upload this file to the server. So we need to write some logic in the backend. Okay, server side code. So in HTML you can select only one file. So this is the example of file upload control. And next, radio button. So radio buttons are used to select only one item from the list of 4 choices. Okay, radio button. radio button. Let a user select one of a limited number of choices. Okay, number of choices. Okay, we can select only one item from the list of choices. Only one only one option from list of options. So for example, in real-time example, when you register in any application, okay, gender option is there. Okay, in Gmail registration form also, gender, okay, male, okay, or female. Okay, we can select only one option from these two options. Okay, so for this we can use radio button. So radio button example, okay, syntax input type equal to radio and name equal to gender, and close this. Here male. And second option female. Okay, so write this. So name is equal. Okay, for these two radio button controls, name is equal. Okay, same category, so that's why we are given names are same. Okay, just to copy these two and paste here. Okay, gender male and female. Okay, radio button dot html. Okay, so go to that folder and run this example. Okay, so gender male and female, you can select only one option. Okay, when you select male, female is unselected. When you select female, male is unselected. So because of we are given same name for these two. Okay, so same category, so that we can select only one option from these two options. Okay, so this is the radio button. And the next, checkbox. So checkbox is often used in groups to indicate a series of choices. Okay, so by using checkbox list, we can select multiple options, okay, from list of options. Checkbox is often groups used in groups to indicate a series of choices. So syntax input type equal to checkbox and checkbox and close. Okay, so checkboxes like multiple options we can select. So for qualifications, okay, for qualifications we can use this checkbox like a BSc, uh, okay, BTech, MCA, okay, MBA, AMS. So like this, you can use checkboxes for qualifications. So that we can select multiple options when you register any like job seeker applications. Okay, so you can select BTech or MCA, MBA, and multiple options. So copy this, open Notepad, just copy this. The qualifications. Okay, qualification. So save this checkbox.html. Okay, so run this example. So here multiple options are showing. So you can select okay qualifications like this. Okay, so when you register in any application, okay, so like this you can select only these two or these two or anything. Okay, so from these multiple options we can select multiple options, but drop down radar button list we can select only one option from list of options. Okay, here assume that for two more options is there, but we can select only one option. But in checkbox we can select multiple options. So this is a checkbox example. And next, list box. So list box is also similar to your text box. List box is similar to text box. So, text box, it shows a declared number of text rows. It shows a declared number of text rows and gives the user a list of choices. Okay, so it will nothing but it will list box nothing but similar to a text box. Again, like checkbox, you can select multiple options from list of choices. So, but in the syntax is different. Okay, similar different some little bit difference between text box and a list box. Okay, so text box accept only one row. Okay, but list box can hold multiple rows. Okay, multiple rows choices. select okay, select starting tag and end tag. Okay, we have to use list box select tag, and here options, yeah, um, option. So first option is next BSc. Okay, BTech, MCA, MBA. Okay, so MS. So the here list of choices. Okay, we can select multiple option, multiple sizes. So this is the syntax.
I have a question regarding this. If
Regarding
we want to write, I mean, placeholder in select tag, it is not working. If I want to write education field in this option, it's not working. So how to write with that?
for selected tag,
Yeah.
for selected tag it will not work in placeholder. So this attribute works only in text box because it shows the identification name in the text box.
Okay.
Okay, for identification name in the text box, okay, what you have to enter in the text box.
Okay.
So that's a feature. So but select fields it will not work placeholder.
Okay. Okay.
Copy this and open notepad. Okay, copy this one. Okay, so qualifications in this example also list box not html. So save this and run this example. Okay, so this is like drop down list. Okay, so but we are doing list box example. For list box there is one attribute here, multiple. Okay, multiple attribute equal to multiple, so that it will shows like list box. Okay, so this is the list box. So from this we can select multiple options by holding control key. Okay, but this is occupy the space in the web document. Okay, text box will not occupy the space, but list box occupy the space. So this is the list box example. We need to use select tag and multiple attribute to show the list box. So if you use
I have a query that
mm,
right now the default name is coming BSC out of 4. The first name is coming over there. But if I want to write anything else, what can I write in select tag?
select tag,
Yes. I mean, right now here the first default tag is coming BSc or MBA, right?
mm,
So if I want to write down like choose any stream, if I want to show display on that, how would I do that?
tooltip. Okay, you can use tooltip.
Okay,
So when you mouse over on that, you can display the message.
okay.
So this is the list box. Next one is the text area control. So text area control, the HTML text area tag defines a multi-line plain text control. The HTML text area control is a tag. HTML text area tag defines the multiple multi-line plain text input control. Okay, input control. So this like Google Compose box. Okay, body. Okay, recipient, subject, and body. So this text area control should be like control body. Okay, so we can write multi-lines text message. Okay, so this should be like this. Syntax. So just text area control. Okay, so this is the syntax. Okay, for text area control. So here we can use height and width. Okay, for to display the text area control height and width. Otherwise we can use rows and columns also. Rows or columns. Okay, height and width we can use, or rows and columns also we can use. So for example, here I want to display text area control. Use for body. Okay, text area control. So save this and run this example. Okay, so this is the text area control. Okay, so text area control, in the runtime we can resize this. Okay, we can resize the text area control, but text box we cannot resize. Okay, text area control and text box same as for user input, but text area we cannot resize, text box we cannot resize, and we can enter only one row. Okay, one line of input, but in text area control we can enter multi-line content. Okay, multi-line content. Okay, so this is for like a body in Gmail Compose box. Okay, so here we can set the height and width for text area control. Height to 50 pixels and width equal to 200 pixels, 300 pixels. Okay, BR tag. So BR tag is for display new line. Okay, next line. And rows 15 rows height, columns 8 columns width. Okay, 8 columns width, 15 rows height. So like this we can set the height and width for text array control. And next control is drop down list. So the select tag, okay, HTML select tag defines drop down list. Okay, drop down list. And in this example, okay, in drop down list also we can select only one option from list of options. Okay, we can select only one option, from list of options. Okay, list of options. So syntax is select tag select. Okay, so just like this we can use. Okay, list box. Okay, options BSc, BTech, BMCA, MBA and MS. Okay, so we can select only one option from this list of options. So just copy this. Okay, drop down list. Okay, save this example and run this. Okay, here BSc and BTech, MCA and MBA and MS. So when you select this drop down list, it will show the remaining options. Okay, so from these two number of options we can select only one option at a time. Okay, like radar button list. Radar button list occupy the space in the document, but drop down list doesn't occupy the space. Okay, but we can select only one option from these options, but space also saved. Okay, so these are the controls in HTML. A button, text box, file upload, radar button, checkbox, list box, text area, and drop down. Okay, so next, center tag is center tag. So this center tag is removed in HTML file. Okay, this tag is removed from HTML5 version. Okay, so this center tag is removed from the latest version of HTML. But in older versions, center tag is very important to display content in the center line. Okay, so the center tag is used to center align text. Center align text. Okay, so for example, if you want to display any text in center align, okay, just use syntax use center tag and paragraph. Okay, so paragraph contains our sample content. Okay, so this content will display in the central line of a web document. Save this, open one notepad. Okay, so copy this and paste here. Okay, center tag, paragraph, and center tag, closing tag. Center tag HTML. Okay, so run this example. So this content is displaying in the center line. Okay, so go to inspect. Okay, so you can find here text element WebKit center. Okay, display block. So but in HTML5 this is removed. Okay, so recent center tag is not using. So to display content in center align, nowadays all developers are using CSS. Okay, CSS to align the center. For CSS we have to write some CSS properties to display center align without center tag. Style tag we have to use to write the CSS. P1 margin auto, and position absolute, and top 10 pixels, and the left 0 and the right 0. Okay, so you can now we can comment this. Okay, so comment this center tag, total center tag. Okay, and one more paragraph. Just copy this one. This is our CSS center align sample paragraph. Okay, ID equal to P1. So save this and again run this example. Go to inspect, P1 margin auto, position absolute. Right, 200 pixels. The 200 pixels. Okay, so that it will display in center line. Okay, so height 200 and width 300. So copy these two CSS properties and paste in your original document. Okay, so that it will display the center line. Okay, so present days all developers are using CSS. Okay, center tag is not using. So these are the and one more is div tag and span tag. Div tag, div and span tags. Okay, so these two are also important tags. The div tag defines a division or a section in HTML document. The div tag defines a division or a section in an HTML document. A HTML document. The div tag is used to group block elements to format them with the CSS. The div tag is used to group block elements to format them with CSS. Okay, block elements means span. Okay, span elements. The div element has no special meaning. It has no required attributes. Okay, div element has no special meaning. And it has no required attributes and no required attributes. Okay, but the style and class are common attributes. Okay, because it is a block level element, the browser will display line breaks before and after it. Okay, the browser will display line breaks before and after it. And span element has no special meaning. Span tag has no special meaning and no required attributes. Same as uh, same as style and say class attributes are common. And the span tag is used to group inline elements in a document. Inline elements in a document. The span tag provides no visual change by itself. we can place span elements inside div or paragraph, but we cannot place div element in span. Okay, we can place span element in div tag or paragraph, but we cannot place div tag in span. So div tag and the span tags example. Okay, so div tag. Okay, so in div tag we can place unlimited number of block level elements. And this is my sample paragraph. Okay, save this. Tags.html. So like span tag. My sample text content. Okay, so save this and run this example. Okay, so this is div tag, this is span tag. So go to inspect. Okay, you can check here div tag, and this is span tag. Okay, so we can place span tag in div tag. Okay, span tag in div tag. Place span in div tag, but we cannot place div in span. Okay, div tag in span. So run this example. Okay, so it will not accept. So these are the HTML tags, and one more tag is iframes. Okay, iframes. So an iframe is used to display a web page within a web page. An iframe is used to display web page within a web page. Within a web page, or we can play YouTube videos within our web page. Okay, we can play YouTube videos within our web page. And next, iframe tag specifies an inline frame. An inline frame is used to embed another document within the current HTML document. An inline frame is used to embed another document within the current document. Okay, within the current document. The syntax is iframe. So for iframe, so we need important attributes like source. Okay, here we have to give the path for YouTube URL or another web document, and height and width. Height 200 pixels, width equal to 200 pixels. Okay, for example, one example. Already one example is done in the previous batch. Okay, iframe. Okay, so here iframe. Okay, and width, height, and source attribute. Source attribute contains YouTube video URL, embed video URL. Okay, so this is the YouTube URL, and this is the autoplay. Okay, directly automatically play the video. Okay, by using this option, and frame border 0, allow full screen. So allow full screen allows the users to display full screen video. And the next iframe is source equal to image tag.html. Okay, so here image tag.html form is there. So in this iframe.html form shows image tag.html form. Okay, and height width. And another iframe is we can display another websites within our web document. Okay, here double3schools.com website is displayed in our web page. Okay, total web page is displaying in our web page. So run this example iframes. Okay, so video automatically playing, and this is the image tag.html form. Okay, form is displaying in this iframe.html form, and this is double3schools website. Okay, total website is displaying by using iframe. Okay, go to tutorials and learn graphics. Okay, total website you can display here. Okay, total website you can display here. So this is the iframe. These are the HTML attributes, and you can learn more attributes, more elements like audio, embed, source, track, and video. New elements in HTML5. Okay, new elements in HTML5: audio, embed, source, track, and video. These are the media elements. Okay, to play the audios and to play the videos. And HTML5 features. First feature is completed. Okay, new doc type and figure element, no more types for scripts. And local storage, this feature I will explain in AngularJS. Okay, so figure element, this is the figure element, new element in HTML5. And no more types for skips and links. No more types for skips and links means, so in older versions like HTML 2.3.2 or 4.0 versions, if you want to call CSS files or JavaScript files, we need to use type attribute. Okay, must and should we have to specify the type attribute. Okay, so in older versions, HTML, if you want to call CSS file or JavaScript file, okay, to CSS files we need to use link and href, okay, dot css file path and rel tag, okay, style sheet and type attribute. Then this is must and should attribute, the type and attribute and rel attribute, text to css. Okay, so in older versions we have to call the css files like this, but in HTML5, okay, directly we can call the css file, okay, css file without type attribute. Okay, without type attribute we can call the CSS files. Like JavaScript files also same. JavaScript files we have to use script tag and source equal to .js file path, JS file path, and type equal to text JavaScript. Okay, we have to call JavaScript files like this. Okay, script. But in HTML5 we can call the JavaScript files without type attribute. Okay, so no more types for skips and links. So this is the HTML5 new feature. And a figure element, okay, for display the captions for the image. Okay, for display the captions for the images, like use figure tag, okay, figure and image source, image path, and alt and height and width. Okay, so if you want to display description for the image or captions for the image, use fig caption, okay, fig caption tag, fig caption, fig caption. So here image description. Okay, image description, so that it will display the image description in the bottom of the image. And I will explain this local storage in AngularJS. And email inputs. So for validations, email inputs for validations. For text boxes, we can use this. Syntax input type equal to text and type equal to text email. Okay, directly we can use only email formats accepted this text box. Okay, so now we can close this text box input control. So this is the email inputs. Okay, type equal to email. So this text box accepts only email format inputs only. And this is header tag and footer tag and content editable. So content editable means directly we can edit the content in the browser. And next, canvas. So by using canvas, we can draw the graphics on a web page. You can draw graphics on a web page. On a web page. So we have to use canvas tag is used to create graphics. Okay, create graphics. Okay, so these are the HTML topics.